What if the greatest challenges facing our world today, from corporate corruption to political dysfunction, could be solved using a 2,400-year-old philosophical masterpiece? Plato's Republic offers a systematic framework for understanding justice, leadership, and reality itself. Whether you're leading a team or navigating ethical dilemmas, these insights can transform how you approach power, responsibility, and truth. Written around 380 BCE, the Republic emerged from Athens' political turmoil after the Peloponnesian War. Through Socratic dialogues, Plato explores what makes a just person and society, arguing that justice comes through harmony of the soul and proper social order. To understand Plato's arguments, we need to grasp key concepts. Justice, as each part doing its proper function, forms as perfect eternal realities, and the tripartite soul with its rational, spirited, and appetitive elements. The Republic begins with a provocative claim from the sophist Thrasymachus: justice is the advantage of the stronger. This cynical view suggests might makes right, a notion Plato systematically dismantles. Instead, Plato argues true justice is about harmony, each person and institution fulfilling their proper role according to their nature and capabilities, creating a balanced whole rather than serving the powerful. Modern leaders can apply this by structuring organizations around people's natural strengths, resolving conflicts by finding solutions that allow each party to contribute their best, and evaluating success based on role fulfillment. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. This reminds us that capable people have a moral responsibility to lead when their talents are needed. To understand justice fully, Plato introduces his theory of forms, the idea that beyond our physical world exist perfect, eternal models or forms of everything. True knowledge comes from understanding these universal principles. In our data-driven world, this ancient concept offers remarkable value. Instead of getting caught in constantly changing trends and superficial metrics, we can focus on timeless principles that represent deeper realities. This approach transforms decision-making. Strategic planning focuses on timeless value creation, problem-solving targets, root causes rather than symptoms, and quality assessment uses ideal standards instead of mere comparisons. Perhaps Plato's most famous allegory is the cave, where prisoners mistake shadows on a wall for reality. One prisoner escapes, discovers the true world outside, and returns to help others, only to be ridiculed for challenging their limited perspective. This powerful metaphor shows how we often mistake appearances for reality. In our modern context, it reminds us to question assumptions, seek diverse viewpoints, and look beyond surface trends to understand deeper motivations. Either we shall find what it is we are seeking, or at least we shall free ourselves from the persuasion that we know what we do not know. This Socratic humility is essential to discovering truth. At the heart of Plato's ideal state is his most controversial idea, the philosopher king. He famously states, "Until philosophers are kings, or the kings and princes of this world have the spirit and power of philosophy, cities will never have rest from their evils." This isn't advocating for academic ivory towers to rule the world. Rather, Plato argues the ideal leader combines practical wisdom with genuine care for those they serve, choosing leadership reluctantly out of duty rather than eagerly for personal gain. The philosopher king embodies 5 key traits: wisdom over charisma, service over self-interest, truth-seeking, reluctant authority, and continuous learning. These qualities create leaders who serve the common good rather than personal ambition. Modern organizations can apply these principles by hiring leaders who demonstrate wisdom and reluctance about power, creating decision-making processes that include philosophical reflection, and building cultures that reward thoughtful decisions over quick wins. Did you know Plato outlined a specific sequence of political decline? He described 5 regimes: aristocracy, timocracy, oligarchy, democracy, and tyranny, showing how each deteriorates into the next when its core values become corrupted. Many misinterpret the Republic as a political blueprint for an aristocratic utopia. However, the text is primarily an analogy exploring justice in the individual's soul and society, not a direct political manifesto. Others see the philosopher king as an elitist political proposal. In reality, this concept is an ethical ideal emphasizing rulers' knowledge and virtue, not just power acquisition. It's about the qualities needed for good governance. Critics often claim the Republic is anti-democratic and oppressive. While Plato does criticize democracy's instability and lack of wisdom, his goal is a just society oriented by knowledge. The debate continues about whether his solutions truly achieve this. Some believe Plato rejects all myths as deceptive falsehoods. In fact, he critiques false myths, but uses allegorical myths constructively throughout the Republic to express deeper philosophical truths that logical arguments alone cannot capture. To apply Plato's wisdom today, we must interpret his ideas in context, translate them into modern frameworks, and apply them to contemporary challenges. Let's examine how his model of education offers insights beyond mere information transfer. In our age of online courses and skill-based training, Plato's vision of education offers a profound alternative. True education isn't just about acquiring information, it's about developing the whole person to see reality clearly and act with wisdom. Plato's educational framework includes physical training for discipline, musical education for emotional intelligence, mathematical study for logical reasoning, dialectical method for questioning assumptions, and philosophical contemplation for understanding reality's principles. For personal development, this means balancing technical skills with character growth, using Socratic questioning to examine beliefs, seeking mentors who model both competence and character, and building regular reflection into your routine. Organizations can implement these ideas through leadership development that includes character formation alongside skill training, performance reviews that evaluate growth in wisdom and judgment, and team building that creates opportunities for genuine dialogue. What fault do you find with them? A fault which is most serious, I said, the fault of telling a lie, and what is more, a bad lie. This highlights Plato's concern with the moral content of education, not just its technical aspects. Another powerful framework from the Republic is Plato's model of the tripartite soul: reason, spirit, and appetite. This sophisticated understanding of human motivation predates and complements modern psychology, offering practical wisdom for self-management and leadership. The three parts, reason, logos, spirit, thumos, and appetite, epithumia, represent our rational decision-making faculty, emotional drive for honor and achievement, and physical desires and material wants, respectively. For personal management, this model helps identify which part of your soul drives decisions, ensures goals satisfy all three aspects, and recognizes when internal conflicts represent struggles between different drives. The goal is harmony, not suppression. Leaders can apply this by addressing all three aspects in team motivation, providing logical reasons, emotional inspiration, and practical benefits. Communication becomes more effective when it appeals to reason, honor, and self-interest simultaneously. Have you ever considered that Plato's ideal society required rulers and guardians to share property and family? These elite classes lived communally, with no private wealth or exclusive family ties to prevent selfishness and ensure loyalty to the common good. Plato's Plough's divided line, plough, offers a hierarchy of knowledge remarkably relevant for our information landscape. In an era of fake news and data manipulation, understanding different levels of truth becomes a survival skill. The 4 levels progress from lowest to highest: images and shadows, like social media posts; physical objects, direct observation; mathematical concepts, models and theories; and forms or ideas, universal principles and eternal values. This framework transforms information processing by encouraging us to ask what level our information represents, base important decisions on higher levels when possible, and distinguish between opinions, facts, theories, and universal truths. For business and leadership, this means understanding the difference between customer opinions and actual behavior, grounding strategies in fundamental principles rather than trends, and evaluating risks at multiple levels of reality. Have you ever sensed that our soul is immortal and never dies? This question from the Republic connects to Plato's belief that philosophical understanding transcends our physical existence and connects us to eternal truths. Beyond these frameworks, the Republic explores the four cardinal virtues that characterize a just city and soul: wisdom in the rulers and rational part, courage in the guardians and spirited part, moderation in all classes, and justice as the harmony of all parts. Each virtue has specific applications. Wisdom guides decision-making. Courage helps face challenges. Moderation balances competing interests. And justice ensures each part fulfills its proper function without interfering with others. Plato's definition of justice is remarkably practical, everyone doing their proper job well. For rulers, this means governing wisely. For guardians, protecting effectively. For producers, creating quality goods and services. This practical definition applies to modern organizations by clarifying roles and discouraging overreach, encouraging specialization and expertise, and establishing systems to monitor and correct role transgressions that disrupt harmony. The Republic culminates with the myth of air, describing a soul's journey after death and choice of next life. This powerful allegory emphasizes that justice matters not just for social harmony, but for our ultimate fulfillment and cosmic destiny. This myth reminds us that our choices have consequences beyond immediate rewards or punishments. Living justly creates internal harmony and happiness, regardless of external recognition, a powerful message for authentic leadership and personal integrity. The Republic isn't just an ancient text. It's a blueprint for creating more just and effective organizations, relationships, and societies. The philosophical frameworks Plato developed 2,400 years ago offer surprisingly practical tools for modern challenges. To implement these ideas, start with self-knowledge using the tripartite soul model, develop philosophical leadership focused on wisdom and service, practice Socratic questioning to examine assumptions, and build systems where people contribute according to their nature. Your task. First, reflect on one area where you've been mistaking shadows for reality. Second, practice a micro-application of philosophical leadership in a decision this week. Third, have one Socratic conversation exploring justice with someone in your life. As Socrates famously said, the unexamined life is not worth living. True fulfillment comes from understanding yourself, your role in society, and the principles that should guide your actions. The Republic offers a systematic path to this understanding. Ready to dive deeper into these transformative ideas? The Republic offers far more depth than any summary can capture. Make sure to like and subscribe for more philosophy insights. Get your own copy of The Republic through the link in the description.